Hi, hello and welcome again to another edition of Sports Updates Ghana with me, Joseph Adamafio. And with just 25 days to the start of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, a former Ghana international has called for the sacking of head coach Otto Addo from the helm of the Black Stars. Also coming up in this edition, Black Stars assistant coach Masudi Dramani is currently on a tour in Europe to monitor some Black Stars players with just 3 weeks to the start of the FIFA World Cup. Also coming up, German Bundesliga side Borussia Dortmund are said to be interested in signing Ghanaian player Mohamed Kudus. More on this here on Sports Updates Ghana. Please subscribe to the channel, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. So quickly, let's get into the details now. And a former Ghana international, that is Charles Taylor, has called for the sacking of Black Stars head coach Otto Addo following the Black Stars' recent performance lately. The Black Stars lost their game to Brazil by 3-0 and defeated Nicaragua by 1-0. Despite their victory over Nicaragua and losing one game, Charles Taylor, who played for the Black Stars at one point in time in his career, says that Coach Otto Addo should be made to leave the Black Stars as at now. According to him, taking Coach Otto Addo to the World Cup will be the worst decision that the Black Stars would have made. According to him, the coach lacks the ability to assemble the right players to start the match despite having the right players at his disposal. Speaking in an interview, this was what Charles Taylor had to say.
The Hammer says, yeah, we can teams now, not players now, other clubs or teams. Not here on clubs or mobile, you deliver more teams. Not here, Diano, but this Diano, I honor of Sahani elbow, and no more we have been born so. I'm starting for Blaster team news here. Oma says you are born at almost started Emma Blaster. I'm back difficult so many just yashi.
The best ones,
the best ones, no more. And I did duplicate moon a day. Twice I said, and she a basana. I don't have bad tuning. I know there's worker, say players no by a salati. Until I'm a so to Addo there. Me so to Addo new coaches or the Blaster because team no but when him the way she team.
Okay.
And you am to more bet my shit team. Send a bay more on best start your mind. No ma, a more mono. Young find and is here a more beard. No, we are going to be H.
And that is what Charles Taylor said in the interview with Angel TV. And I think that Charles Taylor's argument stands for the fact that the Black Stars' recent games against Brazil and Nicaragua, where Coach Otto Addo fielded some players who some fans of the Black Stars believe that should have been on the bench so that some young players would be rather given the opportunity. And I think that Coach Otto Addo decided to use those players for the friendly matches. But the World Cup is a whole ball game together, and I think that Coach Otto Addo will not take the same approach he used for the Nicaragua and Brazil game, just like how he's going to play Portugal. No. I beg to differ. But I think Coach Otto Addo must give us confidence that he is going to do a good job with the Black Stars. But still staying with Coach Otto Addo, he has granted a recent interview where he explained that, well, the Ghana Football Association was well aware of his decision to maintain his job at Borussia Dortmund and still combine his role as interim coach of the Black Stars. Coach Otto Addo came into the scene as Black Stars head coach after serving as Black Stars assistant coach under Milovan Rajevac, who took the Black Stars to the 2021 AFCON, and the Black Stars recorded their worst performance in history. Well, following his appointment as head coach of the Black Stars, Coach Otto Addo led the Black Stars to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar, but he has refused to resign from his post as talent scout for Borussia Dortmund. Speaking in an interview recently, the coach said that the Ghana Football Association had already asked me to coach in February, but at that time their priority was someone who could work permanently for Ghana. The offer was a great honor for me. In the talks, I made it clear that I could do the national team job on the interim basis as a dual function with my Dortmund work. I think as a national team coach, you should also live in the country you work for in the long term. Of course, many things can also be organized and delegated remotely in the short term, but I see myself staying in Germany at least for the next few years, and that is what Coach Otto Addo said. Meaning that, well, he doesn't even look forward to leave Germany to come and stay in Ghana, even if Ghana decides to maintain him as the head coach after the 2022 FIFA World Cup. And I think that the Ghana Football Association should be advising themselves after the World Cup that Coach Otto Addo must take a firm decision to resign if he still wants to be the head coach of the Black Stars. So let's go on and do some more. And Black Stars assistant coach Masoud Dramani is currently on a tour in Europe to monitor Black Stars players with just 3 weeks to the start of the FIFA World Cup. The coach is expected to be in Denmark and also monitor the players over there, which includes some players with FC Nordsjælland. Then from there, he will proceed to France, where he will monitor some players who ply their trade in the French League 1, including Alexander Djiku, Ali Seydou, and Abdul Samed, who recently decided to play for the Black Stars. And he is not the only one who is expected to monitor the players. Well, in England, Chris Hughton will be monitoring Ghanaian players in England, as well as Coach Otto Addo will be monitoring Ghanaian players in Germany. The issue is that we don't know who is monitoring Ghanaian players in Spain and in other countries where Ghanaian players ply their trade in. Well, I think that the Ghana Football Association has employed scouts for the Black Stars and they'll be doing those kind of works. But what we know now is that Masoud Dramani will be monitoring some of these players. And for George Boateng, though, well, I think that in the coming days, when I hear anything, I'll inform you about where George Boateng will be heading to monitor some Black Stars players. There are Ghanaian players scattered all across the world, and I think that for Coach Otto Addo, who according to reports has named his provisional squad for the World Cup, I think that this is the right way to go with just 3 weeks to the start of the FIFA World Cup. And now let's do some more. And Black Stars second goalkeeper, that is Richard Ofori, has said that, well, he's looking forward to being imposed for the Black Stars at the World Cup, but first wants to be fully ready for the tournament. Well, Richard Ofori recently got injured during a game for Orlando Pirates in the South African League, but says that he is currently recovering from his injury and looking forward to be fully fit for the World Cup, because the World Cup will be a dream come true for him if he's able to be imposed for the Black Stars. Speaking in an interview recently, this was what Richard Ofori had to say. The most important thing is that I need to perform to my best at the club so that when they call me, I'll be ready. If you are not performing at your club, then you go there, you are mentally weak. The world stage is the biggest. Every player's dream is to play at the World Cup. At the moment, I am thinking about my club and what my club wants to achieve to be successful. This is my motivation and my objective, and that is what Ghana's goalkeeper Richard Ofori said. He's expected to be one of 3 goalkeepers that the Black Stars will take to the World Cup. Already we have Jojo Wolakos, who we know will be at the World Cup, and Richard Ofori is expected to be the second choice goalkeeper for the World Cup. But the third and fourth goalkeeper, if there will be a fourth goalkeeper, we don't know, but maybe Manaf Nuruddin will be there, or maybe Kotoko goalkeeper Danlad Ibrahim. We'll see how that one goes. But before we go, Borussia Dortmund are said to be interested in signing Ghanaian midfielder Mohamed Kudus from Dutch side Ajax Amsterdam. Well, according to some reports, Borussia Dortmund are looking forward to get a replacement for Jude Bellingham, who has gained interest from some clubs in Europe, including English Premier League side, that is Manchester City, and that, well, maybe the player will leave in the winter break, and that Dortmund will want to get a replacement for their forward. And for Mohamed Kudus, who lately plays as a makeshift striker, Dortmund believe that he'll be a suitable replacement for their forward. And for Mohamed Kudus, this season he hasn't done bad at all. Well, in the Dutch Eredivisie League, he has played 11 games and has scored 5 goals, and in total he has played 16 games this season and has scored 9 goals, and is looking forward to be in action when Ajax takes on Liverpool in the UEFA Champions League tonight. So yes, that's it for this episode of Sports Update Ghana. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, what you think about all the stories that I have shared with you. Please subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment.